Ladies and gentlemen, do you know what? It's been so long since I've recorded a video. I don't even know how to work this whole thing with the cameras. How do you talk to an audience? Welcome, humans, to my YouTube channel, the home of content creators and weirdos like me. Right, enough of that. Check this out. This is my new reversing camera. This is one of many things in the van. It's supposed to turn off, and it does. Look at it go. No longer will I have my phone here for the sat-nav, so there'll be no more police incidents. Oh, by the way, there is still no news on the police incident. I've had no more letters, no correspondence with them whatsoever, so we'll figure out what happens if I do get a response, but until then, nothing to report. There is a reason why I've been gone from YouTube for so long, and that is because of what's been going on in the back of the van. There are so many new things. This is just the tip of the iceberg, but we'll get to that. Right now we're running out of daylight, and I am headed to the UK's only desert. And it's not me who's labelled it that. That is official. You can Google it. There is one desert in the UK, and that is where we're headed. But by the time we get there, it's going to be getting dark, so I need to get a move on. We are here, kind of. I can see a power station over to the right, a nuclear power station. That might give you a clue as to where we are. About 5 minutes ago, I did open up the door because I wanted to go out and film this weird little railway line which runs through all these huts. And as soon as I opened the door, it almost got blown off its hinges. It's well windy out there, so I don't hold out a lot of hope for the drone, but we're going to put her up in the air and see what happens. In fact, you know what? Let's just pull over right here. That didn't sound good. That sounds like we might have got stuck. Let's take a look and see what's happened to the wheels. They sounded like they buried in. Oh no, we're alright. This may well be the last time you see the digital bird. She may not come home. I didn't take the drone up for too long because it is so windy. She was drifting far and wide. But we still got a little bit of daylight, so I thought I'd come over here. There's something weird. I want to see what it is. Now from down here, this does look a little bit like a sort of regular beach with a little bit of weird stuff going on in between. But from up above, you can actually see that it is quite different. There's not really anywhere else like it in the UK, which is, I suppose, why it gets to be called a desert. For those who haven't guessed yet, it is called Dungeness. It's down on the south coast. But this is the weird thing I wanted to come and have a look at. What the hell is that? I reckon it might be the top of one of the little trains that they send along those tracks. I don't know if you guys remember back when I had the old jelly bean. I came here once before with Victoria, and we were looking for the boat that Nicki Minaj used in her music video. And I think it was this one over here. It's actually burnt down now. But I do remember it was at the end of this little weird railway line thing. This is probably where they used to take the boats down to the water. Yeah, this is it. This boat here, X-boat here, was where Nicki Minaj stood in front of to film her music video. And back in the day, I actually came here to shoot a video myself. And at the time, I didn't even realise Nicki Minaj had done it. But this is it. Since then, it's been burnt down to the ground. Yeah, behind me and in all directions there's loads of things like this, just random old boats, bits of machinery, all just been abandoned over the years. But unfortunately, with the light levels dropping, we don't really have time to explore it properly now. Plus I've left the van unlocked and it is freezing cold out here. I'm pretty sure I've already shown you this light bar which I've got up at the top here from Auxbeam. It is pretty dark out here. The camera's making it look brighter than it is, but when it gets even darker, we'll put that on and see how it does. But you might notice in front of it, just about there, there's a little CCTV camera. There is also one here on the side, one just above the brake light up there, and a fourth one on this side as well. But the reason why I've been away from YouTube for so long is because of all the hard work I've been doing in the back of here. It's not quite finished. We're about 95% of the way there, but you'll get to see the vision of what it's going to look like. Check this out. That is better. It is so cold out there. Right, where do we begin? First of all, I now have the Max Air shade. That clicks into place, so that stops any light coming in from the outside. It's also got some insulation on the other side of that, so it should keep the cold out a little bit as well. In addition to all of the ceiling lights, which I already had in place, I also now have a light on this one as well. This is dividing opinions, by the way, because you can see a little halo of light around the edge, because obviously my ceiling isn't completely flat. I personally like it. Some do as well, but some people say that they'd rather it was pushed flat against the ceiling so you couldn't see that. I think I'm going to leave it, but what do you reckon? Do you like the halo effect, or do you think it needs to go? I'm pretty sure I've already showed you the fridge freezer, so we'll skip that for now. I'm going to take that seal off, but not yet. It's the last thing to happen in the van. We now have running water. In fact, let's give you a demonstration. Remove me oak chopping board, and just like that, water flows. I've also got this sprayer thing, and I can take that out, spray around the place, and job's a good one. And not only do I have cold water, I also now have hot water, and it gets really hot. I'm going to get to that properly in a minute. To the left of the sink, you may notice my extravagant spice rack. It's not just a spice rack, it also acts as a support piece for the microwave shelf. And on the other side of the van, we have all of the main furniture, which is way more than just furniture. I will explain. First of all though, this isn't going to be finished like this, so all these wooden edges that you can see exposed are going to be hidden with this sort of stuff here, which is just some silicone edging. So eventually it's going to look a lot neater than it currently does. Up here we've got my two top lockers, just standard top lockers. They've got a light underneath them as well, but I haven't put a switch in yet, so I can't show you the light working. Next to that we have my wardrobe. That doesn't even have a wardrobe rail in it yet, but it will do, and obviously it will have a door eventually as well. Next to this I've left a little gap here, so I've got a sort of bedside table just to put a drink on and my phone. Underneath that is just sort of general storage. I haven't really figured out what's going to go in there yet. Probably shoes and other bits of clothes, things like that. Underneath that is for my power station. I'm going to keep that permanently topped up, so that's there for emergency backup use. And this section next to it is basically going to be my bench seat, so I need to get a big cushion to go on there. Little cushion in front here just so that people can perch on the edge as an extra little spot. That in there is specifically been designed for my brand new air fryer. It's a different one than the one that I used to have. It is a square shaped one, and it's going to live perfectly in there. And on top, this is just a general area to chuck my phone and camera when I come into the van. Oh, and underneath here, there's another secret little slot, which contains this, which is, I'm not going to tell you right now, but that is basically a genius little device, which is going to allow me to charge up the van from EV power stations. And I'm just sort of sorting out the final details of it, and then I'm going to let you know all about that, and I'll go and demonstrate in a video, because you will be able to buy these soon as well. And what, I hear you ask, is lurking beneath the bench seat? Well, that is the new main addition to the van. At the end of the last video, I was telling you that I'm off to get a top of the range heating system put into the van. It is the Truma D4E, and the guys at Truma were good enough to install it for me. It's basically a boiler, which is how I've now got hot water, and a heater in one. It runs on diesel and electric, and it's plumbed directly into my diesel tank, so I don't need any additional tanks or anything like that. So it was installed down here obviously before I put the furniture in. Now, unlike most diesel heaters, I know it's dark, but bear with me just whilst I quickly show you this, if you can see it. On the side of the van here, there is this thing. That is a wall cowl. It's basically to replace a exhaust which you'd normally have on a diesel heater. So the Truma also has 4 different outlets to distribute the hot air to different areas of the van. So underneath this unit, I actually ran some of the ducting. You can see it goes underneath where the toilet now sits, and it also comes across in front of the Truma. And I've also got another pipe which goes up through the wall there, and that goes out to keep my water tank warm for when I'm in the Arctic. And then at the end of each of the ducting tubes, if that's what they're called, the duct things, the elephant trunks, you've got these vents so that you can angle the air to wherever you want. And the entire thing can be controlled not only with this screen here, but also straight from my phone. Now, this is temporarily just stuck here. Eventually there is going to be a nice wooden thing up there, and various components are going to be put onto that. One of them will be the Truma screen, one will be the screen for my electrics in general, plus this, which is my DVR for my CCTV system. But for now, this is just velcroed onto the side here. So if you can see that, this is the controls. It's so simple to use. You have got the room climate, which is basically the heating, and then you've got the hot water settings, and then there's just various different settings and notifications on there as well. Now, I'm not going to put it on right now because I'm starving. I still need to go and do a bit of shopping, but later on I'll put that on, and then you can see the difference between the temperature inside and outside. Honestly, that thing has been a game changer for me. And you might have noticed the wall panels at the back here have also been done. There are still some bits to finish, like the tops of the walls, but we are getting there. We are getting there. And another temporary thing, inside there, there's one so I can access it exit from the cab, and there's also one down here. This is my switch panel. I'm not sure where I'm going to put this eventually, but for now it's going to live here. And by the way, this gap next to the fridge is getting sorted out soon. There's going to be a little storage unit in there. But let me just show you what we've got in here. So that is the light bar, the big light bar on the front of the van. Then we've got the fridge. Then we've got, that is the toilet fan. Ignore that. We don't talk about the toilet fan. This is my dump valve. So if I press that, water is now being dumped outside. So that is nice and convenient. I don't have to get out to do that. That is my pump, my water pump, just to turn that on. These two M1s just turn off the bedroom and the main lights individually. And then the button, which I've skipped over, is this one here. Welcome to the Pigeon Vision system. So this is also just in a temporary position. I've just cable tied this monitor to the wall, but I've got a remote here and I can cycle through all of the different cameras so that I can see all around me. Oh, wrong button. I can see all around me whenever I want from inside the van. And not only that, all 4 cameras get recorded 24/7, so I can go back and watch whatever I want from any angle I want, anytime, either on the monitor itself or on my phone. I can watch it live from my phone as well when I'm not even with the van, or I can just scroll down, find the certain date or time that I want. I can even pull the footage from that, download it to my phone and upload it to my videos to show you guys if anything's happened. But for now, that is pretty much all there is to show you in the van. There are some new additions coming soon, like I'm going to be adding a TV to the wall up here and just various other bits as well. I've got to finish a few things off and add some little extras, but I'll get to that soon. I think another about 3 or 4 days in the barn, and then it'll be finished and we'll be ready to head out into the big wide world. Alright, it's dark enough now. Let's test out my light. So if I can find it in the dark, I think it's this button here. Look at it! Look at it go! That is ridiculous. So I reckon, geez, I can't see anything up there. Apparently there is a Morrison's only 6 minutes from here. Now, because I was in a rush to get here earlier because of the dark, I'm going to head there now because I'm starving hungry. We need to get some food. I'm hoping we don't get stuck on this gravel. Now we're all good. But I'm going to spin her around, head to Morrison's and pick up the dinner. Oh, if they've got the ingredients, have I got a treat for you guys. I saw this on TikTok earlier. Well, Instagram, but it was a TikTok. You just wait to see what we're going to cook up. That's a little bit strange. I mean, a couple of good things. One, I've got this on video, maybe. There's a massive pile of horse shit outside the back of the van, and obviously when I got out I avoided it, and the geezer that works in there has just come along and he started taking an interest in it. He started moving it around with his foot. Why would you do that? So I was going to go back to the place where we were already parked up and stay there for the night, but upon looking at Google Maps I found an airport that's literally just around the corner, and next to the airport there seems to be this little bit of gravel or something like that I can park on, maybe, possibly, fingers crossed. So I'm heading there now and we're going to go check that out. So it looks like on the map that it's just, right, well that's obviously an airport in front of us. There's a mad amount of lights going on. Oh no, that is where I was planning on parking. Let's pull over and have a quick look. God, there are some planes down there as well. Obviously, it's an airport. Yeah, that is where I was going to park, and it is all completely sectioned off. That would have been a nice spot as well, because the airport is just there. You probably can't make it out on here, but there are some planes parked up right in front. Alright, let's just drive through the security gate and see what happens. I think the gate's open. Security officers patrolling. This car park will be locked at 7 PM. What's the time? 6:34. Okay, let's have a little scoot around the car park and then we better leave. Right, I'm going to rock up here and get out quickly. I would put my massive light on and light up the whole runway, but that's probably not considered safe or legal. If anyone asks, I'm just going to say I'm an avid plane spotter. What a lovely plane. I've flown planes, by the way. Don't think I haven't. I've done a few flying lessons when I was younger. Not in beauties like that though. I think the one I was in was called a Cessna something or other. This is another security gate. We're in. There's a security office. Evening. There's a security truck. And this is just a massive, yes, right guard security. This is just a massive car park. Oh look, there's more planes well close to me now. That is a nice plane. I'm not going to get out again, but I'm just going to show you this. What a beautiful winged beast. See, that behind me is the massive runway, and currently I'm stood in the car park, which is pretty empty. There's a huge CCTV camera up behind me now on that wall, and the security truck's in front of me, so I think it's only a matter of time before they'll come and question what I'm up to. So before that happens, or before I get locked in, I guess we better do the off. Let's get out of here, head back to the desert, and cook up a storm. Alright, we are back to the original spot. Now we just got to find the flattest spot to park on, because earlier we were on a little bit of a slope. In fact, I know what we can do. Look at it! Yeah, this'll do. Nuclear power station to the right, lighthouse straight ahead, and desert to the left. Right, let's get the old Truma fired up, shall we? So inside at the moment it says it's 16 degrees, which isn't too cold, but that's because I've been driving with the heating on. The other thing to note is that there should be a vent on the outside of this unit to let fresh air back into the heater, but there's currently not. I'll be adding that soon, but for now I'm just going to have to run it with this lid open so that the fresh air can get through this gap here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to whack it up to the max now, 30 degrees. It'll be interesting to see how long it can hold that heat. It is 8 PM and I am ending this experiment early because it's far too hot in here. It's currently 28 degrees. Honestly, it feels like I'm in a desert. Hang on, wait a sec. I am in a desert. Yeah, this thing is going off for now. Now, because my air fryer, the new one, doesn't exist yet, well, it actually does, it got delivered today, but it doesn't exist in here, I've rigged up the old one just to my power station for now. And because that supermarket was not super at all, in fact, it was very underwhelming, it was tiny. I mean, I was going to buy 114 ingredients and cook up some highly exotic meal with my extraordinary culinary skills. But instead, we're going to make pepperami mini pizza bagels. But that's not the exciting bit. The bit that I mentioned earlier, which you're going to absolutely love, that is what we're going to have for dessert. Right, let's cut these bad boys down the middle. Slice the pepperami. We've got to lace them with a bit of Tommy P. Next up is what is this? That's cheese. Right, they're in. It's set to 215 degrees for 8 minutes. Let's see how they do. Got the old pigeon vision system going on up in the corner, checking for intruders. Look at that! What's he up to? Suspicious! Oh no, it's alright, he's just going past. Well, would you look at that? I get to sit down to eat. After all these months of standing up and eating like a weirdo, I can finally join the rest of society and be normal. Right, let's give this a go. That tastes like a pizza, to be honest with you. I'm quite impressed. In fact, I'm very impressed. It's like Pigeon Vision Systems picking something up. It's just a motor vehicle, nothing to fear. But yeah, that is actually pretty good. Even though I've made these before. What was that noise? That's my air fryer turning off. I highly recommend adding a pepperami to the mix. The time is now 9 o'clock and the temperature inside the van is 22 degrees. So in an hour it's dropped by 6 degrees, which I don't think is too bad considering this isn't fully insulated yet. We've still got a lot of insulation to do at the tops of the walls. Plus this curtain here is still the temporary one which I've been using to divide the cab off. And it's real thin. This is getting replaced with a big thermal sheet soon because obviously the cab is going to be the coldest area in the van because of all the glass. Oh, and I forgot to mention, in addition to my new seat, as well as having a cushion on top soon, I'm going to have a table. It's going to be one of them swinging ones. I don't mean it's going to get with other tables' wives. I just mean it's going to swing out so I can eat my meals like a regular human being. And also I can put my laptop on there and get some work done. We are ready for phase 2 of this expert meal. Oreos, right? Milk. It's not just Oreos and milk. This is going to come together to create pure magic. That is assuming that the internet didn't lie to me. And the internet never lies, right? Okay, so what you do is you get 4 Oreos. You stick them in the bottom of the cup. You get some milk. You stick some of that in there. Now, oh, that's probably too much. Next step is you get your fork and you start crushing the hell out of them. Whoa! That was not part of the plan! Ah, you animal. Where the hell is my tissue? Why me? Why? Gordon Ramsay doesn't have to go through this. Right, because we put a bit too much milk in, I'm going to chuck another Oreo in. So that is 5 Oreos. From my vast experience of doing this 0 times, I predict that that is the texture that we want. The next step into the microwave. It has to go on for 1 minute, apparently. Now, if the internet hasn't lied to me, we should be left with a cake. Look at it! That is a cake. Right, hold on. This cannot be true. It is. That is an Oreo cake. Look at that. It's too good to be true. I mean, it looks like cake. It smells like cake. But there is only one way to find out if it indeed is cake. Oh! Oh, you beauty! Oh! Oh, my cake! Whoa! If you don't try that, you've got no self-respect. Go and try it. You have to. That is the one. You have no idea the glory that just became of me. I got to clean my teeth in a sink, an actual sink, for the first time in, well, I done it this morning in my house, but I mean in a van. The first time since my last van, which was February, March. I haven't had a sink since then, and it was good. But right now, there's not a lot else to do. I don't have my TV in here yet. I think my projector is in storage. I'm probably going to watch a couple of bits on my phone. In a minute, I'm going to turn on my heating system through my phone, so I'll show you that. I kind of feel like Jesus because of those Oreo cookies. Well, the Oreo cake, rather. Maybe I'll stay in the desert for 40 days and 40 nights. You just same thing as the control over there. Click on room climate, choose your temperature. It's back up at 30. Let's put it to 26. And that's it. That thing's going to come on now. Heat the van up a good one. I'll probably have to turn it down during the night. I'm going to get me some sleep and I'll catch you guys in the morning. It's been so nice and warm and relaxing in there. Not so much out here. I can feel the rain starting to come down. The wind has been relentless all night, but it's been nice. It's just been rocking the van slowly. I felt like a little baby in a cocoon. Oh great, the rain is really coming down now. That's good timing, isn't it? I was going to go for a little explore. I better not get this camera too wet. It's not my day for exploration, but it is my day to go home and enjoy Christmas with the family. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and enjoyed the new updates in the van. I reckon even next episode or the one after, it will be pretty much finished at that point. And New Year is round the corner, which is when we're going to set off for the Arctic Circle. That trip is coming up so close now and I cannot wait. I hope you guys are going to stay tuned for that. If I don't see you beforehand, which I probably won't because I think this is going out Christmas Eve, enjoy your Christmas. I hope you have a good time at home with the family and that you don't have to work. As always, I just want to say a massive thank you to anyone who's donated to the channel by buying me a brain cell through the link in the description below. All we can do now is hope this rain turns to snow for a festive white Christmas. Thank you guys so much for watching and I will catch you next week.